Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Olays, and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode Skyblock. In the last episode, we were working on this contraption over here, which is basically a big fancy way to recycle cobblestone into scrap, and then take that scrap and make scrap boxes. Currently, we are out of scrap boxes, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter too much. It's just to kind of help things along. This guy is not even running currently. I was looking at this thinking we could like do a comparator system and all that kind of stuff, and realized, nah, that's too complicated. It'll be easier just to maybe put this on a timer. That is an idea, actually. We could put it on a timer every, like, I don't know. We're getting, about, let's highball it and say 1,000 EU per tick. That means every 5 minutes would probably be plenty. So you know what? Let's do that. That's a little bit of an aside. We'll get to that in a minute, though. So between episodes, I've been working very hard on fixing this. So this is the sifting setup, and as you can see, I've changed things around. I've added another compressor to kind of make things a little bit nicer for myself. And I think everything is working just fine. So how it works is it takes all the outputs from these three sieves, puts it into this chest, and then this extracts it. And it has two options. It can either go into this chest if it is not from either X Nilo or another one bites dust, or it goes into this chest if it is one of those two. So anything like diamonds, redstones, all that kind of stuff goes into here and then just immediately goes into the system. All of the dust and crushed ores and all that kind of stuff go into here. And then we extract the ancient spores, cactus seeds, and exotic seeds and just put them back into here because they don't need to go through this system. Now each of these filters are going to a compressor, and it's for the dust, the ores, the broken ores, and the crushed ores. Broken and crushed get compressed and then hammered. And then this servo takes it all out and put it right back into the system. Those three filters. And eventually the dust will come in here. And this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. It extracts all the dusts. It puts the yellorium and aluminum into the redstone furnace and puts everything but those into the pulverizer. Didn't need to use a resonant filter, but I did. So doesn't really matter too much. And then it just extracts it from there and puts it back into here. So that's all the system is. It took me a little bit. I messed up the first time. I forgot to... So originally I had... this guy over here and just kind of pumping into the auto compressor, and I forgot that the crushed ores would not go in there, so I didn't want the crushed ores in here, so I had sands and stuff trying to go into these two. A little bit less efficient, but didn't really matter in the end. So the plan for today, once we get this guy set up like I think would be cool, we're going to work on some bee automation stuff, because we're at the point in this series where kind of the big thing we need to start looking towards is Draconic Evolution. And Draconic Evolution requires a lot of, not only Draconium, which we have a little bit of, we're going to need a lot more, but it also requires a lot of Dragon Hearts. And the Dragon Hearts are for making the Awakened Draconium. Awakened Draconium is annoying. To put it lightly, it's annoying. But that is something we'll get to eventually, because Dragon Hearts is the more annoying thing. Now, we have two options for Dragon Hearts. We can resurrect the dragon using Draconic Evolution, which is not easy whatsoever. It requires mob souls and just nastiness. Or we can use bees. Bees will allow us to resurrect the dragon fairly quickly, fairly easily, and it'll be awesome. So that's what we're going to go for. Can we make another dragon egg? Out of curiosity. I know we can with the draconic chunks. Is that... I think that's what this guy does. So we're going to get Draconic Dust anyways, so that's fine. We'll see once we get there. But before we can get there, I really want to get into Gindustry because that's going to make my life a lot easier. And in order to get into Gindustry, we need to manually breed some bees. I've been trying to get an Imperial, and then this one is trying to get Industrious. But really, we need a ton more apiaries than what we currently have, so that we can just kind of mass produce. We're also going to want to get a lot of hives and that kind of stuff as well. So we're going to work on automation. We're actually going to bring a small applied energistic system over here, partially because of all this stuff, and hopefully that'll help things along. So isn't there some analyzer block? Yes. So this thing, when pumped with seed analyzer, don't really care about that. So yeah, that is something we might want to make as well. We'll probably make another beealizer. That's not a big deal. But that's something that would probably be helpful. We'll get to that in a moment. So before we do anything else, let's go ahead and autocraft the UU matter, which we have well over a bucket of, which is really nice. 1100 millibuckets is pretty good, to be honest. So let's go ahead, and there's a couple things I want to make. First thing we're going to make is a timer, and this is just to set up the time, literally the timing system. So get those. We're going to need a pointer. We're going to want some redstone torches. Let's just get like a stack, or as many as we can. I didn't realize we were out of sticks, but we're going to need a pointer. We're also going to need a cathode, and we're going to need 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so there is the timer, and this is literally what's going to keep time for us. However, there's one other thing that we're going to need to do, and this is currently on. If we remove the lever, this starts running, which is fine. It can do that for right now. So this is just to kind of optimize having power in here and not use it, like not wasting the reactors. So we're gonna put this guy here. We're gonna set him to like 300 seconds. Why not? That is what, 5 minutes? That is 5 minutes. Yeah, so every 5 minutes that will activate. Now we can come over here, and here's the thing. It only pulses. So if we just put that right next to the mass fabricator, it would pulse for a second, so it'd turn it off for like a second, and then 5 minutes later it'd do it again. Not really useful. So what we need to do is put another redstone contraption, which is a latch. We need, I think a toggle latch would work just fine. So we need 2 of these. 1, 2, and 2 cathodes. And I think this will work. I think this is what we want. So no. That is not what we want. We want an RS. Is it? It's. Oh wait, no. We want a flip flop, not a latch. We want a flip flop. What are they called? It's. What is the redstone contraption called? Let's just look at. This isn't gonna work. Project Red. So there is a bunch of different circuits, OR gates, NOR gates, no, all that stuff we don't need. Repeater, randomizer, RS isn't. Will an RS latch work? Does it really matter? It's just redstone in these plates, which we made way too many of. We need 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I don't feel like looking it up because that would require me to stop the recording, and I don't want to do that. So let's try an RS latch. And something we can do... why is this weird? Not that one. Let's see, that one. So, if we put this here... No, we need... It's a flip-flop, I swear. Buffer gate, multiplexer, pulse former... The toggle... yeah, toggle latch should work. And it does. Okay, so we didn't need the RS. So let's get this guy up to 5 minutes. And that will be fine. So this is all we need. It's just a toggle latch, which will turn this on and off as needed every 5 minutes. So that's just something kind of simple. I don't know why I thought the toggle latch wouldn't work. I guess I thought it was manual, but it's redstone. It should, yeah, that's basically what we wanted. So anyways, with that taken care of, let's go ahead and get some stuff that we're going to need. So we're going to want a single 16 crafting thing. We're going to want some storage. We're going to want an ME drive. And we're going to make just a really basic applied energistic system over with the bees. So 64K storage? Yeah, I don't really need those currently. Artificial hives, we're going to take those out. We're going to need couple interfaces. We're going to want a ME terminal. So a crafting terminal. That is something we're going to want. Let's see, ME crafting terminals. So we need something like this. So we need a core. We're going to need a logic processor. Still working on other things. And let's see. Do we not have any illumination panels? That's not a big deal. We're going to need some quartz glass. We have vibrant quartz glass. Does that not work? Nope. We're going to need 3 of that. Okay, so it's going to take it a little bit because we need to do more crafting. But basically, what we're going to do, let's grab some ME glass cable. Let's just use blue because why not? I have it. Actually, no, I don't want to. That's why not. So can we make like 100 of that? We're missing nether quartz, really? We have a good bit of soul sand, so let's go ahead and bring this down here. I want to use this one, but let's just turn it off. This will not take too long to process. We'll get everything that's we get, so we'll have a good bit of nether quartz when we get back down there. So it's still crafting everything, so there's that. We're gonna want a crafting coprocessor unit. Excuse me. That's just some simple things. Shouldn't take too long, other than the fact that it does need a bunch of processors. So are you done yet? Almost. We have quite a bit of nether quartz, thanks to all those fortune upgrades. Actually really nice. So put that stuff in there. There is our storage. Let's see, we're going to want to make some quartz glass. Oh, cool. We had enough left over from other stuff. So we just need a logic processor. Let's make like 10 of those, just because it's going to be easier in the long run. And we're probably going to want a molecular interface or molecular assembler as well. And I think that's pretty much it. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up just a very basic system over here. And I've already kind of laid out where. We're going to put any drive right here. We'll have our crafting, so we don't really need this guy. And we are going to need, ooh, I forgot about that. We need to have either an energy acceptor or a controller. So we're going to need a controller, and because I don't feel like making one of those right now, let's just steal one like that one. So this is just to give us power, and that's about it. So that's fine. We can bring stuff over. We're going to have power just over from the Tesseract, and some of the stuff is going to be automated, mostly stuff over here, so we're going to need some more cables. But that's about it. Let's break this guy, and we'll put our very basic crafting stuff over here. Interface with molecular assembler, and then we'll have interfaces for other stuff. We can put that in there, and this is where we're going to store all of our bee stuff. And I figure this is going to be the easiest way. I don't know if we need per se to kind of bring things back into the system or not. So we're going to need calculation processor as well as a crafting bench table thing. Okay, so there's the coprocessor. We're going to need a molecular assembler, and we're also going to want to have some ME glass cable. Let's take that and let's just make 100 of those. Perfect. So it's going to take a lot of nether quartz, but we can get a lot of it very quickly. So with that taken care of, yeah, with that taken care of, we can kind of just do the rest of the stuff that we need to. So one of the first things, let's get this set up, and then we will kind of go from there. So we are making processors. That should not take too much longer. And it should be done by now. No, what is it? Wait, oh, it's making pure surge quartz. So once that's taken care of, it'll be nice and easy from there. So let's see, do we have the molecular assembler? We do. Alright, let's go set the rest of the stuff up, and we'll grab the last thing in a moment. So this goes here, and this goes here. So what do we need this interface for? Well, we're going to put it down here with the carpenters, and this is going to be how we get different items. So we can put it right here. We'll put a chest in front of it, and you know what, let's just put this guy down here somewhere. Like here works just fine for me. We're going to want not only to make this guy, Can we, you know what, let's make the other terminal as well. Not the do we want to have the full pattern terminal and everything? You know what, why not? We'll need to make another crafting. So you know what, let's get processors. Let's make like 20 of you. It's going to be annoying, but it'll get done. So an interface terminal, we can make one of those pretty easily. And then pattern terminals require the crafting terminals and engineering processor. So let's make the other core. Make like 3 of those. So it's going to make 4, which is kind of what we want anyways. So there's an IMI terminal, and we'll come back and get the rest of that stuff in a little bit. That's not nearly as important. So let's fly over here, grab our conduits, or rather flux ducts, whatever. And we're also going to want to grab our, let's see, we're going to want a chest. We're going to want item ducts and filters and all that fun stuff. Servos, we're probably going to want like 10 more servos. And we're going to want filters. So we need iron and invar. Iron is the easy part. And then invar. Let's make 40 of those. Why not? Doesn't really matter. So what else did we need? Our cables, that's right. And just for my sanity, let's make a single smart cable. And this will just kind of tell us where things go and whatnot. So, something like this. Cool. So we'll come back up here. We have multiple terminals to place. Do something like this fairly easily. Interface terminal, which can see our interfaces once we get power. And that will be, well, basically now. So let's hook this guy up to power. And ugly, I know, but you know what? No, we're not gonna accept that. So let's just bring this along like so. And I guess we'll do this. Cool. So the entire system just lit up, which is exactly what we wanted to see. And now we can throw the artificial hives in there and basically all of this stuff. So why are we doing this? Well, to make it pretty simple, we're going to need a lot of different things kind of automated, such as making hives, making a lot of different things. We're going to keep the clipboard on us. Hives, making the various hives, in fact. We're going to want to automate making like the frames and that kind of stuff, and just a lot of different things. So something we can do, and these guys are all scanned, so what we can start working on, and I'll probably do this between episodes, is we'll just take all of them and put them in here. Now we have a couple different drives. Let's make another drive just to kind of make sure things work. Now we're also going to need a pattern terminal, so let's get another crafting terminal. And then the pattern terminal is easy enough after that. Then we're also going to want to get, let's give it like 3 more of these. We are missing Certus quartz? Really? How are we missing Certus quartz? I know I just made a bunch of different things, but that is strange. We have 4 blocks. We have a lot of charge, but we don't have much normal. Okay, then let's make just one more of these for now. And that will craft. We'll come back to it in a little bit. So what are we kind of doing? Well, we could set up so that this is a smaller system onto the big system. We've done that before with this guy. This is technically, is it? It's a strange, no, this is not a full system. I decided not to do that. But you can do it. It's subnetworks. It's complicated stuff usually, but it does work and it does do what you want it to usually. But it's complicated and I don't really want to. So we don't need, we need filters. Let's go ahead and get like a stack of filters. Not a stack, but like a good number of filters. Alright, so what do we need to do? We need to make the analyzer, that is for sure. We don't need terminal anymore. And that's something that doesn't really matter right now. I'm not entirely sure how this one works. I think I know how it works, but I'm not entirely sure. So let me think. What do we need to do? So we need to bring channels over. We need to start automating things. We need blank patterns. That's what I was going to grab. So we're going to kind of stock things up as needed rather than full-fledged having everything at our fingertips from the very beginning. So it's just something that is, it's not that big of a deal. It's just something that it's going to be easier in the long run if we just kind of bring things, like it's going to be simpler for me if we just bring things over, is what I was getting to. So we could set it up so that this system can see everything else and everything else cannot see this system, but it's going to make this really messy once we have a lot of bees in there. So we can start like throwing some bees in here, and even then it gets messy. I'm not entirely sure. I think there's a way. Aren't they called viewing cells? View cells. Let's make one of those, because I think what that'll do is we can select it to view specific things. I've never used this before, so I don't know for sure. Let's get some quartz glass, and we'll make this. It'll be good. But yeah, so it's just one of those things of like, we want to keep the system kind of clean looking, so that it's easier to look at the bees. But yeah, so one of the first things we're going to automate is the production of hives. We're going to, or no, actually, scratch that. We're going to make the production of apiaries first. So this is going to be a little bit slow. It's still making stuff. It's still waiting on glass. Alright, so let's get the blank patterns. 16 is honestly enough. If we need more, we have more. So let's put those in here. And yeah, so one of the first things we're going to want to make is the apiaries, rather. Now we have impregnated sticks, and then this guy is basically ready to make the apiaries. So let's take a look at apiaries. Apiaries require impregnated casings, so we're going to need wood. We're going to need lots of wood. That is not really much of a concern. By the way, I went ahead and I came over here and I gave this guy some diamond shears. Just cost a little bit of diamonds. And I figured it'd be a good way to get leaves to compost into dirt, because we need a lot of dirt. So let's put a bunch of wood in here. And then we're going to set up this recipe for the impregnated casings. So something like this. And this is going to be the problem. We're going to need more interfaces. So we can put we'll need a trap chest, actually. Or some other sort of chest. Or we can put this right here. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, so what we can do is we can put an interface here. Let's see. Let's not put it there. Let's put it... where do I want to put it? Let's actually move this over. We can do interface here. The chest like this. And then... put, just for now, something like this. And that should be good. Okay, so this makes sense to me. Don't worry. Let's just bring this up and over. So unfortunately, because because both the impregnated 6 and the casings require similar items, we can't do anything super tricksy. Alright, so that just connected. That's fine. And what we can do is we can teach the system how to do a couple of things. So we're going to teach it that 8 of these, actually, we're going to teach it that 8 of these will give us impregnated casings. And that should not be too bad or anything like that. And then all we need to do is put some impulse item ducts. So we can do... Let's break this. Let's actually put this right here. You'll see why in a second. So, we could do that. We need servos. So servo here, ignored. Servo here, ignored. And we can also see if we put this like, let's see what is going to be the best. Actually, let's do it this way. And we can kind of reconfigure this. Alright, so filters. Actually, let's do an experiment. So servo here, redstone off. If we put a jungle wood, does it all go here? It does. Perfect. So let's filter this to be a whitelist wood. And that way we can put 2 recipes here. Now last thing we need to do is set this to only output that way. So that it puts it in that chest. And then we'll put another interface here that'll output the other way. And this will be as simple as just doing one of these. And again, something like that. Servo. Servo. And there we go. So it'll require another interface, but other than that, not too shabby. So do we have the stuff we need for the viewing cell? I want to see if this works how I think it works. So let's take this and if I put it in here, I do not know how to configure these. So I guess it's a fuzzy card. We can get a fuzzy card. That's not too bad. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and make one of these. And I guess we'll have to make an advanced card. Should not take too long. So there is a fuzzy card. Now, can we, like... How do we open this? That is something I'm not entirely aware. So let's put apiary right there. Let's look up applied. It's got to be a cell workbench. Don't we have one of those? Yes. So let's just place this down. Put the view cell. We can match any. And let's go grab a bee. And see if this works how I think it works. So we put that in there. And that's it. So presumably, we put this view cell in there. We only see bees. So that's what I want. Let's go ahead and put the cell workbench back. And that's something that we can kind of manage. Now there are 3 types of bees. Let's put 4 just to make sure this works. We don't see drones. Okay, we don't see princesses rather. So let's make sure that it also knows about princesses. That should not be too bad either. So let's grab our cell workbench and view cell. Perfect. So this should just work. If we need to see something that's not bees, and here's a actually, let's put that in there. And here's a trick we can do. Because we have plenty of channels over here, let's get another ME terminal. So let's get another terminal. But this one will be not a crafting, just a normal terminal. So we're going to need some logic processors. Let's make like 10 of those. And cores. You know, let's just make 10 of those. No, because that uses a lot of... Yeah, no, it's going to craft them, so doesn't matter. And what we'll do is we'll put another thing over here. So let's remove this stuff and make things look a little bit nicer. Oh my gosh. Why does that have to fall down there? We'll also grab the blank patterns if I can remember when we go back over. So interface terminal can go right here. Pattern terminal there with the blank patterns. This will be crafting, and then that will be bees. So let's go grab our blank patterns, the last ones. And then can we make an ME terminal yet? We certainly can. Perfect. So we'll put the view cell in this guy so that this is only the bees. And there we go. So everything's here. We could even invert it, I think, to make things a little bit easier for us, but everything's here. So impregnated casing, we'll go ahead and teach the system that 8 of these gives you this, and then we're going to teach it how to make apiaries. So it's a crafting. We're going to need that, that, and then apiaries. I did not teach it how to make the slabs. So let's teach it how to make the slabs again. Oh no, I did. I just put it in there for some reason. Alright, so let's clear that one. Okay, so with that taken care of, let's see. That gets the chest. These guys get the molecular assembler, which we can expand as needed. And now the next thing we're going to want to do is teach the artificial hives into the scented hives. And this is going to be just through this. Now we need to extract this. So I want to say you can do that from the back. But I'm not entirely sure. So what we can do is we can re-equip that, redo that, put this guy here, whitelist, scented hives, and then we'll come back down and get the other one. And can we extract from the side, or does it have to be from the bottom? I guess we'll find out here in a second. I think it has to be from the bottom, which is a pain. Oh, I also had an impregnated casing on me, so we could have set up this filter completely. There we go. So that is kind of where we're at for all this, but we should be able to make apiaries automatically. And here in a second, we should be able to make scented hives automatically. So let's make another one of these. So it should come down and it should place it, but doesn't do anything else. Alright, so that's what I was afraid of. That's an easy enough fix. So we just remove that. Let's pick up these guys. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Put the item ducts like so. And there we go. No? Okay. Works just fine. Everything should be happy up here. And there we go. So what is it we need to do now? So the last thing I want to automate, well, we can do the sticks as well. That's not that hard. It's just 2 of these. Gives you 2 of these. But I'll need another interface. So let's go grab one of those. We can set that up. But the last thing we're going to want to make is, so we have the apiaries. We're also going to want to make the another induction smelter. And so we're going to need a machine frame. We're also going to need invar gears and the coil. Alright, so we'll come back for that in a moment. Let's grab our interface before we forget again. And yeah, this should make things a little bit easier for this. And this is where things are going to get a little bit more complicated. And so we're actually going to run another channel downwards. And that will go into a chest. Interface with a chest. And then we'll have, let's see, power right here. So let's just put the interface there. Power go right here. And impulse item duct like so. The servo. Perfect. So that will be something else, which we'll get to in a second. That's to make more hives. Now, as we need more stuff, we can kind of, like, for example, we're going to need a lot of string. So let's just grab a ton of string. And we can put that into the system. Now we're going to need one more interface. Lots of interfaces. And this should be the last thing we need for the time being. Now, as we kind of move on and get more stuff and whatnot, we can always automate more and more. Let's turn that off. I don't want anything else going in there. We're going to need to whitelist the sticks, but that's not a big deal. We can put that in there, and we want to turn it to go that way. Alright, so we just need to go grab an impregnated stick so that the filter knows that I can accept that. Perfect. So we can automatically make apiaries, and we're like one step away from making hives. So the last step to make hives, and we're going to worry about Meadows hives. So it's a processing pattern to get Meadows hives. If we look at Meadows, Meadow hives require 8 grass blocks and a scented. So we take scented, and then we're going to need grass blocks. We can also make forest hives. Same kind of principle. Can we make the induction smelter yet? Certainly can. So we need grass blocks. And that's something I'm going to probably harvest between episodes. I'm just going to... Unfortunately, it requires more dirt. But we can worry about that soon enough. And then if we want meadows, or rather forest hives, we can get 8 oak leaves. Now I want to verify that it has to be oak leaves. If it does, I will just harvest a bunch, but if it can be jungle leaves, that would be really nice. I don't think it can be. I think it has to be oak. But what we're going to do is we're just going to put induction smelter right down here. We're going to configure it so input everything, output everything out the back. We can put this pattern in here, and let's go grab a scented hive, and then I can always teach the recipes for everything else that we're going to need. So scented hive, no, jungle leaves do not work, so it has to be oak. That's okay. We can set up some, I can also do some stuff with that. Before we do anything else, though, I do want to see if we can't get... there's 2 more things I want to make before we end the episode. So, we're not going to need any of this stuff right now. So do I have oak leaves? We have 7. We can make an 8th. Let's get some shears. And we're going to get shears a little bit different way. So we can make normal shears. But there is an unbreaking set of shears we can make. Precision shears. Requires 2 angel blocks. 1, 2, and some unstable ingots. So let's get our division sigil. And we're going to need diamonds. We have plenty. And gold nuggets. So 2 sets of those. We're going to get some semi-stable nuggets. And this is going to allow us to make precision shears, which should be much, much better. I don't know how these work because I don't actually remember. And it instantly breaks, but it also has no durability, I believe, which is kind of the more important thing to me. So what we can do is just harvest. Oh no, it does have durability. So where are the leaves? Maybe these are not what we want to use. So let's get a sapling. I have a ton of oak saplings, so let's grab bone meal. And here we go. It's really weird. Okay, so these really don't work how I think they work. So let's just make some normal shears. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong with those or what, but let's just get a bunch of leaves. And this is something I can kind of do for now manually. But eventually we'll figure some sort of automation out for it. So with leaves, we need 8 leaves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we just come down here, and just to verify that this works, throw those in there. This should kick off. It will take a second because it is slow. We can always upgrade it if we want to. We can also make any other type of beehive outside of the magical bees. We'll have to set something else up special for that. But that will make the forest hives, and we can encode that. And any other hives that we want. So the induction smelter gets those. And we can kind of make whatever else we want. So that's kind of where we need to stop. Last thing I want to make is the analyzer. And that is going to require us to make another beealyzer. And let's see, we need a diamond, glass panes, and I believe it's 10 in redstone. So 10 and redstone. Let's just make sure for 10, yep, everything's there. Let's come over here to our carpenter. And it's like so. 2 redstone and a diamond. Make a beealyzer. This is the one we'll use. So I'm actually going to go put this guy up for right now. But basically, I can teach the system how to make stuff like, well, I can teach the system how to make stuff like the frames, the various frames that we're going to want. I can teach it how to make the artificial hives themselves. That's not too bad of a craft, but I'm going to need to go get other resources. So it's just a matter of kind of getting things kind of set up and figuring out what all we're going to need. So let's make the analyzer, and I can hopefully run everything through it. So sturdy casing, we can tell the system how to craft, and that should not take too long, but we'll have that and everything will work. So let's just quickly check over here. How is this guy doing? We still have power. We're not getting quite as much scrap just because we don't have really that many overclockers, but that's something we can fix relatively soon. So how are we doing for UU matter? We had 1177. We now have 1333. Not too bad, to be honest. So sturdy casing. There is the analyzer. And let's see how this works. I think we're going to need liquid honey for it. We can put it right here. So yes, it requires honey. Liquid honey probably would be the best. That's something we're going to need as well. Let's just take a little bit. I don't know if it actually needs liquid honey. It does. And then we can take like all these guys. And yeah, so we'll need to pump it full of liquid honey. And to get that, it's pretty easy. You just need to squeeze. We have an induction furnace already. I forgot about that. Whoops. Oh well, we have an extra. I like that one over there. Anyways, so we need to squeeze honey for the liquid honey. We'll worry about that later. We will need to set that up, but today's episode's gotten a little bit long, so we'll worry about it another time. So, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Plan is I'm going to continue working on bees. Between episodes, try to get a ton of bees. And we'll kind of go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!